What's up,
What's up?
motherfuckers?
Day drink discussions. Honestly, I wish we would keep naming them, but I fucked up back with the hotel ones, so I don't know which one we're on.
Yeah, I don't even think it matters. We're drinking. It's daytime, and we're about to discuss some shit. So,
You're drinking?
yeah. Hogarden.
Oh, I'm telling on you,
Who you telling?
your doctor.
Man, fuck that doctor. I don't see her again until October. I'll be fine.
Oh man, there's a song that is on the radio, and most times I'm not a big fan of songs that's on the radio, but I'm addicted to this one. I'm gonna send it to you.
Dude, we have a rap station here that plays really good music. They play like your big stuff that's popular now, but we were listening to like Biggie and Pac and like DMX. They've been playing a lot of DMX since he left us a little bit too early.
He didn't
They
even.
also play. They also play us like local stuff too.
I was thinking about that because I know there's radio stations like that. Like that's how I found out about the family recipe was college radio station. But I wish there was more radio stations like that played your top 40 hits, but also played local shit or underground shit. You know,
Yeah, yeah, because
one of
we were
the
listening radio yesterday at work, and my coworker was like, "I've seen this music video. This was shot here in Charleston." I was like, "Really? That's
things.
cool." And I knew they did local stuff, but I didn't understand that this band that I was listening to at the time was local.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know 107.9. They used to do a contest um where they would have like it was like an artist showcase. So you would send in your music to the radio station and they would play it. And I think there would be like five people every Friday night or something, and callers would call in and say, "Hey, I fucks with this one," and whoever got the most call-in votes, they got I don't know studio time or some shit. But it's like it's cool. That's a big ass radio station, almost as big as B103, but they're still putting on for the local.
Yeah, we had something like that last year. Actually, my buddy Jordan at Costello Studios, he actually did the recording for whichever artist won. So they did a
That
big promotion like that over the radio. Hey, we're submitting all month. Like the ones with the most votes, or however the scoring system will win studio time at Costello Studios. And I think they did like a music video too. Ended up being some country guy, military dude, who won.
And see, I used to hate that style of things when I was in Credence because I remember we played a battle of the bands and we should have won, but this one band brought like their whole church. so, so we got
Right.
second place. But it's like, hey, if you are making that much of a move in your community that your whole church is going to come out and vote for you, I more props to you, because you could be the better rapper, but this rapper in his section has people fucking with him, so he's gonna win over you. But hey, if you're able to create that kind of buzz within your circle, then more props to you.
And remember what Corn would do back in the day when they first got started?
Uh-uh.
They would load up a school bus full of people. Right? Hey, if y'all go to this concert with us that we're gonna play, we'll provide the beer. So they'd take like a full school bus or like large oversized van full of people to the show. So they're showing up with like a crowd that knows them.
It's smart.
Very smart.
It's smart. You can't hate the player, don't hate the game.
It's like when you're busking
Don't
on the
hate the
street,
game.
you always put a few dollars in the case just as seed money.
You said what?
Like when you're busking playing on the street,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, you put your own money in the guitar case just to show, hey, look, somebody else saw value in this. Throw some money in here. So you always
Exactly.
start with a few dollars yourself.
Exactly.
Shit, I'd throw some Benjamins in there and be like, hey, that's some high class street playing right here, boy.
I ain't getting robbed. If anyone threw 100 in there, I'm putting it in my pocket as soon as it goes in. Nevertheless, me putting it in myself, getting robbed with my own $100. So when I was on the phone with you and I was at Popeyes and I had to get off real fast because I was ordering.
Yep.
Well, I don't I don't think he heard it in my voice, but when we were talking, these two people, and they were sketchy looking, walked up behind my car and were just standing there. And I was like, fuck. So I'm reaching in my fucking glove compartment, take the pepper spray out, take my knife out, and nothing happened. They were ordering food without a car at the drive-thru because you can't go inside.
So we got Hawaiian food yesterday, and I ordered my bowl, and I said I want this with no spicy mayo, and she goes okay. And I was like, but then I want a cup of spicy mayo and a cup of your chili sauce on the side. She goes, well, that's gonna cost you extra. I was like, that's fine. She's like, well, if I just ring it up as those sauces being on your bowl, it won't be anything extra. But if you get the cups, they're 75 cents a piece. I was like, well, I'm allergic to mayo. I can't eat it, so I'd rather just not save the dollar and make sure they don't put anything on my bowl. She goes, they won't put it on there. I'll take care of it. Cool. I knew they were going to put that shit on my bowl. So I'm just standing there watching, stewing, mad. It's like, I didn't want to save the dollar. And y'all are going to fuck my food up.
All right.
So I'm sitting there watching, and they make all these bowls, and every single one has spicy mayo on it. And I'm looking to see which one doesn't. I never saw it get made. So I take the food out to the car. I inspect it. Dripping with spicy mayo. I take it back inside. She goes, what's wrong, sir? I say, I can't eat this. She goes, oh, I'll fix it. So this bowl is built on top of a bed of hot rice. So then she pulls out this cold lettuce bowl, rebuilds it, and then gives me crab. And I was like, does that crab have mayo in it? She goes, you can't have it in there either? I said, I cannot eat mayo at all.
Bro, I would have just fucking ate it, find something I really am allergic to, and sue the fuck out of it. You get high, all over you, your throat was closing up.
So she takes the crab off, and I was like, when I came in a few days ago, they just put Masago on this. Why can't I get Masago today? She goes, we're out of it. I was like, well, I'll take the crab that doesn't have mayo. She goes, okay. And I was like, is there hot rice under that bed of lettuce? She goes, no, you want it on the rice? I was like, yes, because that's how it's made.
Bless her heart, man.
She goes, what do you want me to do? I was like, can I just get rice in a separate bowl? And I was like, man, this food is so good.
And you're ruining the experience.
But you're ruining the experience. And I told Wendy, I was like, it's because we have unrealistic expectations on teenagers. And as adult managers and business owners, we're not training them to have good customer service skills.
True.
Like, what did Miyagi say? I love it. And like I told Wendy, it's not 100% true. But he said there are no bad students, only bad teachers.
That's the truth. That, like you said, that's not all true, but it is the truth. It's like I've heard Rogan say plenty of times, you know, if you go to Muay Thai or whatever, you can be a great athlete and could be a great fighter, but you've learned it the wrong way. And it's hard to teach a dog new tricks. Well, not new tricks, but it's hard to reverse it. So you've learned it this way, and then you go to a real class, and it's like, it's so hard to unteach that. So yeah, a bad teacher can fuck up a good student.
Yep. But yeah, once they finally got it right, the food is amazing. So they do poke. So, I told you this. Yeah, where it's basically sashimi on top of like a bowl. But they also do sushi too. And Wendy enjoyed the sushi. So if she liked the sushi, sushi's good.
Oh, she's not a sushi fan?
No, I mean, she doesn't like bullshit sushi.
Oh yeah, me neither. I haven't found one good sushi place besides Wasabi. I've found one that was okay. And man, it was in like the Lawrenceville area, like a little past 20, I think. It was okay, but I don't know, man. Wasabi's good.
We have one here. I don't know if it survived the pandemic, but it was really good. I put it on the same level as Wasabi, but they do more fusion type stuff, so it's not all just traditional rolls. So the vibe is definitely different. It's not very traditional rolls like he does, but man, just so tasty. And Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays they had a happy hour on the sushi rolls themselves. So we'd always go then, and I think they were like half off. So we'd eat like double what we'd normally get.
And sushi is Japanese, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because what a person will tell you, especially a Japanese person will tell you, if you go to a sushi bar and they speak Japanese, you're in good hands. Boss isn't Japanese, but he makes some damn good sushi.
Yeah, he makes good sushi himself, but aren't most of his sushi chefs Japanese? Or are they
Um,
Chinese?
I don't know because a lot of them he was speaking to them in his language, so I don't know which ones were Japanese, but I know a lot of them that came through. He was speaking, his language.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe they're Chinese then, but
because you remember one of the best ones. I think, well, was his name George? Drove the BMW.
I
You
don't know where he drove. I didn't
know,
work with him.
do you remember George?
George was awesome. Yeah, he ended up working at some place in the mall.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he was the best one because he brought new shit like the heart attack. Um, Probably two or three other ones is still on the menu because he taught Sam how to make them, and
Yeah,
he
this
was.
play. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying he was Chinese.
Yeah, the place downtown that we really like, they do one called Surf and Turf. So it has Wagyu beef and shrimp.
Went and talks about surf and turf.
Oh my gosh. So
I've
good.
never had it. He said swagyu beef and what?
Shrimp.
Shrimp. And was I've never. I don't think I've ever had wagyu beef.
It's hard to really tell the quality difference in this sushi roll because it's such a small morsel. But it's like one of the most expensive cuts or breeds of beef there is.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very high fat content. Very tender, from what I understand, and very expensive.
Have you ever cooked the filet mignon by yourself?
Oh yeah. I've eaten plenty of filet that I've cooked.
Man, that's some of the best steak I've ever cooked. Well, honestly, I haven't cooked that much steak. I cooked some like Szechuan beef, I think, but I used steak instead, but the same Szechuan flavor. And I cooked ribeyes and filet mignon, but filet mignon, like man, shit ton of butter, some thyme, some rosemary, some garlic cloves, and put that all in the pan. Fucking 2 minutes aside. Put it in the oven for 2 minutes at 450. Oh my god, shit, so good.
um, you might, if you just want like a small taste of it, Kroger used to sell these things. They're probably about this big, probably about that thick, and there's a little cut of filet, and they wrapped it in bacon.
I
Woo!
haven't I haven't had Kroger's, but I've who did that? Parker's family. I don't. It wasn't filet mignon. I don't remember what it was, but they wrapped the steak in bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I had never had that before. I never thought to do that. I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
Yeah, one thing I like doing is taking like a thick chicken breast and kind of butterflying it, so cutting it almost in half, throwing and then chopping fine some spinach, and throwing the spinach inside the chicken breast, some cheese that's going to be very melty inside the chicken breast, and then close the chicken breast, and then throw some toothpicks in it so you hold everything together, and then doing like a bacon weave on the outside of that, and then baking it for like half hour, 45 minutes. And that
I
bacon
almost,
gets real nice and crispy. All that fat goes into the chicken, and then you have these greens and like cheesy shit on the inside. It's so unhealthy for you, but it's so tasty.
I almost did that when I had a friend come over. I was gonna cook for her, but I ended up doing something else because I was like, who am I trying to impress? Because I ain't a cheese person like that, so I ain't gonna like it.
Oh, see, I
But
love cheese.
yeah, I like to taste cheese, but I don't like cheese to be almost the main thing that you taste.
Yeah,
So
I
if
eat
any,
cheese by itself.
mm-mm.
Yeah, I came home the other day to make a grilled cheese, and I put 4 slices of cheese on one grilled cheese.
Hell no. I love a grilled cheese, love it, but no, it can't be too cheesy.
Speaking of cheesy, you watching the UFC fight tonight?
UFC ain't cheesy. Yes, to
Yeah,
answer your question,
yeah. I didn't have a fucking good transition. I had run out of words. My beer is empty.
I just wanted to 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 bask in the silence and let everyone else bask in it too. Because if you're watching this, then you're letting our thoughts invade your brain. So we gave you a 6 second period where you could have your own fucking thoughts for once. Fucking cocksucker, as Joey Diaz would say.
I don't think people have their own thoughts though. I think all of our thoughts are given to us.
Oh, 100%. Any thought that we come up with, like if I came up with a badass idea, okay, so like the idea I had for putting the barricade up for when there's a wreck, that thought is my own thought, but it's not because the reason I came up with it is I heard people complaining, like, man, look at this traffic, look at this traffic. I was like, why is there always traffic when there's a wreck? Oh, this is how to fix it. But that thought came to me because of someone else.
Yeah, I think multiple people get the same thought at different times, and the universe is just trying to figure out who's going to put this into practice. Because how many times have you seen something yourself or heard somebody else say, "Man, I thought about that a few years ago and thought it would never work, and now I'm buying this shit at Walmart."
Exactly.
So you didn't execute on that thought. It was good for humanity, so somebody else executed on that thought.
That's why I also think that when we forget, we lose our train of thoughts. I think that that thought flows to someone else. Like, really,
Man, somebody's getting a lot of my thoughts then. Shit.
that hippocampus.
Big hippos, tiny campuses. Man,
uh,
and even before my campuses started shrinking, shit, people were getting all my thoughts because my brain does not work in a way that's most efficient for holding on to things. That's why I write things down.
Me too, bro. Me too. I think Mike Posner said it, but I was doing it even before him. But I think it was him that said, he has to write a thought down, even if he wakes up at 3 in the morning and has to pee and wants to go right back to sleep. But he has a thought, he has to write it down because he's like, I feel like the universe is giving me a gift, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go to sleep and forget what that gift was, and I feel like I'm kind of fucking over the universe. And I haven't felt exactly that way about it, but I've kind of felt that way, like because there's been plenty of times I've thought of lyrics, and like, oh, I'll remember that. Don't fucking remember it, so I write every thought down.
And it's funny you went to lyrics because when I used to write poetry or lyrics, I would wake up oftentimes in the middle of the night with an awesome poetry, awesome flow to it. I'm like, man, yeah. So I'll just rep it so I can memorize it. Wake up in the morning and I would have the words, but not the rhythm. And
Does
it would never feel the same.
it sucks, bro. That's why I write shit down. I've literally have fucked myself where I thought I could go back to sleep. I'm like, fuck, let me write this down real quick. And then next thing I know, I'm up for the rest of the night or day. I'm like, son of a bitch, man. But hey, at least I got the thought down.
Yeah, it's
There's
important to record stuff like that.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll record it like if it's an actual flow that goes with the lyrics, I'll record it. So I have probably 10 recordings in the past couple weeks on my phone. But a lot of them I write down when it's like there's no way I could fuck this flow up. It's too simple.
I mean, think about how many big artists were like, bro, we were just having beers at the bar, and I wrote this song down on a napkin. That's a story that gets retold 1,000 times. Because like I need to record this right now. Because if I don't write this down, I won't remember it when I get home.
Exactly. I mean, it's also like Eminem, keeping his lyrics. Same with Billy keeping her lyrics in journal. Like you think those are thoughts that just they sat down and just wrote lyrics and shit and did drawings? No, some of those came at moments where they needed to be attentive to someone or something. It was like, oh wait, I thought of something. I'll literally be having, comedians talk about this a lot. How the most of the work that they get is from interactions with other people. And I don't get a lot of my lyrics from other people, but some of my lyrics come just from conversations like, whoa, like how we were talking about Victor or talking to Victor, and he was talking about, taking him to Neverland. Like I was like, whoa, that's a good song idea.
Your Zoom froze for a second, and you know how like when video freezes and you have a still frame, the person looks crazy.
Right.
You were crazy looking for a moment.
Oh man. Yeah, I've paused on Joe Rogan a couple of times and like, oh, he'll be like,
yeah, I like it when like blogs that aren't very professional will use a still from a video instead of a picture for like a thumbnail, and it's like that doesn't look as good. You should have found a picture.
right, for real, for real. Yeah, yeah. Don't be using those still frames because a still frame it can be a little blurry. It can look funny because people are in conversation. Like I'm talking right now, it looks okay, but stop right there. That still frame don't look so good.
Right.
Oh yeah. So speaking of science and segues, really about the UFC. Are you watching there, or is your people in town gonna stay too long?
Oh no, the people we're having over live here. Yeah,
Live
so
where?
here.
In Charleston?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't answer my question.
Yeah, but your question was weird because you asked if the people in town are going to stay too long.
Yeah, so the fights, I don't know when they start, but it's a pay-per-view. So if they stay until like 8 or 9, then
Yeah, I'll be able to start watching at 10.
So man, are they gonna stay? Like, how long's this event supposed to last? Your event.
I have no idea. They all have kids, so it just depends on when they start wanting to put their kids to bed.
Okay, so yeah, they might stay too long. And I say stay too long, I don't mean overstay their welcome. I mean stay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
UFC fight.
Yeah, I mean I'll be able to see the end of the main card because they're not staying until 12, 1 o'clock.
Do you know who's fighting?
I know Oliveira's defending the title. I'm not sure who's up for defense.
No, he's not defending it. It's interim because Khabib left.
Khabib.
Man, I don't know. Everyone calls him Khabib except Cormier. So
I love how Cormier talks to him. Like you say, he talks to him like he's a little boy. Hey,
oh,
it's my friend. You're my friend. And then like he'll talk to the camera, he's like, man, this guy's so dominant as a champion, like nobody can beat him. Khabib, it's so good to see you. Like, he speaks English, Daniel. He just he doesn't talk as fast as we do.
But he understands when we talk.
Right.
He answers all the interviewers' questions. He never has to get a translator. Bro,
yeah, that's hilarious.
You know who sucks at answering questions? Fucking Dana White. He will listen to a question and you can tell he is not there, and then he'll say, what was the question?
He probably has so many things on his mind at any given time, though.
Oh yeah, and it's cool that he is the face of the UFC because you don't hear I can't think of any of their names. I can see their faces, but you don't see the in NFL, NBA, MLB presidents, doing press conferences. Like
In
it's
fucking
cool.
blue jeans and an old ass T-shirt that looks like he cuts the grass in. He is
Exactly.
such a chill CEO president.
It's I fucks with him. Like there's things about him that I'm like, but I
Other
fucks.
than being a dickhead and not paying his people,
That's one. Calling his people kids, as you pointed out, is
I hate
another.
that. Man, this kid coming up is like, dude, he's 32.
I used to not hate it, but I hate it now. I think he even called fucking Donald Cerrone a kid and say, bruh,
No.
that man's about to be 40.
And I get he's older than them, but it just comes off as sounding strange.
And I don't think he even means any harm or malice behind it. I just think that yeah, it does come off. It does even not even strange, a little derogatory, you
Yeah.
know. But I don't think he means any malice
Oh, I
behind it.
don't think he means anything by it. I think it's just his language that he chooses to use. And I mean, he came up young with the UFC, and at that time, most of the fighters were younger dudes. So I mean,
Right,
they were all kids at one point.
right.
Now he just happens to use that language. There's a cat about to go over here and take a shit in our garden bed, I think.
I don't know how this is gonna work, bro, because this is killing my fucking battery. And if I plug my charger up, I don't know how I'm gonna stand my phone up. It's gonna be an interesting one. Speaking of interesting one, what we're speaking of is we got a Rello Dreamer coming on to chop it
Rello
up
the Dreamer from Chicago.
from the six.
I don't know what that means. I don't get that reference.
Me neither,
Oh.
because
You said it so natural. You're like, oh yeah, he's from the six. I was like, oh, Nate knows. Nate's in the loop.
now Drake talked about the six, riding through the six with my woes. But that song, he's talking about Toronto. I don't know what the six is in Chicago.
Man, Drake ain't hard. He was in fucking Degrassi.
Yeah. Tupac was in Poetic Justice,
Working on the weekend like usual.
working on the weekend like usual. I
So
cannot stand that song.
there's a line in that song that we were trying to figure out the meaning of last night. What is it? Hold on one second. Hey, Wendy! Can I borrow you? Please? She won't be on camera, but I'm going to ask her a question because I can't remember the lyric. I don't know lyrics very well. Hello? Oh. No, I just wanted to know that lyric from the Drake song that we were trying to figure out the meaning of last night. Something about taxes. Yeah, he says I didn't do my taxes. I'm too turned up. Thank you. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You missed April 15th because you were too turned up?
I like them to, how Wayne when he does his mixtapes, he does other people's beats.
Yeah.
Well, he did that beat, and he said, "I haven't done my taxes fucking with Trump." So that one makes a little more sense. I don't understand the two turned ups.
So, I'm fucking with Trump. Billionaires, gotta love them.
Shit, Wayne might be down in the dirt. That's what people were saying because I think he sold Drake and Nicki Minaj's masters.
Oh, okay.
So people are like, "Oh, he's down bad."
Yeah, 2020 changed a lot for a lot of people. No one knew how long it was gonna last, and I think a lot of people, big and small, didn't adjust their spending habits.
Giggity
So,
yump.
so I could see that. Um, I was gonna say something a little while ago though, and I forgot about it.
Wasn't about Drake.
No, it was before we started talking about the six. I didn't want to interrupt you. I should have jotted it down.
All right, so we were talking about the UFC, and then I said, what we're talking about is we got Rello Dreamer coming on, and then you said, "Oh yeah, the six," and then we went on to talk about Drake.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh
Well,
well.
I like watching podcasts, and they'll say something, and then like 3 minutes later reference it, and be like, "No, I didn't say that." It's like rewind the tape, and it's like I can actually rewind it, but they're actually they that shit's crazy. Because maybe you could rewind this and be like, "Oh, I remember what I was gonna say," but right now we're in actual conversation. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how I could do that setup where like I can monitor and like go back and reference things we said earlier. I don't know if I could do that with Zoom.
I think that's impossible. Because what I was saying is like, say Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe are talking, and Rogan says, "Man, it smells like shit in here," and then 3 minutes later, Tony was like, "You just said it smells like shit in here," and Rogan's like, "No, I didn't. Rewind it." They don't really mean rewind it. They just mean people at home rewind it. They
Oh,
can't rewind it.
gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I mean like if I had something like Pro Tools or something set up, it would actually build the recording as it's playing, and I think
Yeah.
I could go back and rewind if I wanted to. Some instant replay on this motherfucker. Prove you wrong.
Right. Now
Prove
you ain't
myself right.
you can't even fucking remember what you was gonna say. How you gonna prove me wrong? But yeah, Tony Ferguson
I just
is
said prayer.
fighting. Tony Ferguson is fighting Dariush.
Ferguson's fighting tonight.
Yep.
So this is gonna be
Co-main
his retirement fight before he goes to Bellator or ONE FC.
with the shit he's been talking at the press conference.
Bruh, he's washed up. Gaethje broke him.
No, honestly, this is gonna sound really weird, but I'm going with the underdog in my head. I think Ferguson's gonna win, but I'm betting on Dariush.
See, if I were a sports bettor, I would bet on Neil Magny every fight. He hardly ever loses, and he's always the underdog.
Yeah, true.
That'd be a very easy double, triple your money.
Very true. She's a runner. She's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard.
Stay
Yeah,
black is that's what.
that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I was about to say it. I kinda, that was awkward. I kind of don't want to end on that.
Well, is there anything else you got to say?
Stay black and don't be whack.
Stay black, don't be black. Day drink discussions.